So Izzy Darnell is about to rush you guys, and she finally announced it. And I want to tell you my thoughts about it right now. And also, I have to say too, I actually never went to Bama, but I want to tell you that honestly, I am very obsessed with Bama Rush Talk. I was actually in a sorority, but nothing like these girls at SEC schools, but I still love it. And I've watched it for years since it went viral on TikTok many years ago when Kylan was first starting the sorority. Like, she's the queen of Zeta, right, at Bama. However, I think the biggest concern is that she's definitely more controversial than her sister, and more funny, definitely. I'm not sure if her brand itself is like on point with how she is behind the scenes, because I'm not even sure about that with Kylan either, because a lot of these people do that with their social media where they present themselves one way and then they're actually completely different. So maybe even Zeta's opinion about her sister is actually different because maybe they're aware she's not as she is online. But I'm not completely sure. She could just be very herself online as well too, which can also be a little bit overbearing to some of the sororities. But I do think that being yourself will get you into the right connections with people in the right sorority. However, it's almost like joining a pageant, which they both are well aware of. You want to be like the best version of yourself. Even on social media, you want to bring your A game like Kylan did, even though she definitely had some scandals during her time too, like we all have, right? But I'm saying that you want to present yourself as your best self, and that is why Zeta bidded on her. But in this case, I even watched her first video, Izzy's, and I was like, oh my goodness, she definitely seems like maybe she wasn't even sure if she wanted to rush, or she's just playing the exact opposite role as her sister. I'm not really sure exactly what's going on there, but she's just being authentically herself, or she's portraying herself as the opposite. I'm not really sure exactly, because it was definitely PR in the past with her falling in the pool, but she's also had more scandals than her sister, which is okay. But I'm saying I do think what could easily happen too, if you play this PR game, or if you play this card when it comes to your personality too much, I think that also a lot of sororities could be turned off. And she could also get like blacklisted if she's not careful. So she needs to definitely be careful. Maybe she's aware of that. Maybe even her sister told her. I guarantee her sister and her have had this conversation. If not, they're definitely having it right now. Or they will, to some degree. But the thing is though, Kylan is just so nice. So I think she tried really hard to be nice to her about it, but maybe she's not even fully aware. But maybe she even thinks she doesn't even have to try that hard because she's a legacy. I'm not even sure. I don't know. Well, to be fair, every sorority is different. I'm just trying to think of all options when it comes to the situation. But I'm just saying that being a legacy won't even get you in. Like, sometimes that does happen where the legacy rule doesn't even work, Or I even heard for this sorority that they got rid of the legacy policy because there was too many people who were legacies, which makes sense because it's a bigger sorority. So, because I didn't have that situation at my sorority because it was a smaller one. So we didn't even have that issue back in my day because we were the only sorority. But it was also the Midwest, but ain't cold. I think that Zeta honestly could even give her a bid because we don't know the interactions they've had or the conversations that Kylan has had with her sorority about Izzy. So maybe their opinion of Izzy is way better than what we're aware of because they're already aware of her or have met her personally, which I'm assuming most of them have at some point, right? Because she was going to visit her sister at Bama and vice versa. So I'm sure they're aware of her. But also I think it would be kind of complicated not to give her a bid at the same time. But the thing is though, maybe even Kylan's aware of this or not completely aware, but it's a sticky situation because honestly, she might not even be the right fit for Zeta, but she could be if she wanted to be is the thing. So, because she's totally got the characteristics that you need to be in the sorority, but they're looking for a certain criteria for rush, if that makes sense. Like, they're looking for you to put on your best foot forward, and maybe that's not the right fit for her. Maybe she doesn't even want to be Zeta. Maybe she does. I don't know. Maybe even Kylan doesn't want her to be Zeta, or Zeta doesn't want her to, I don't know that answer. But I'd be interested to see what Zeta does because I honestly think that they may even give her a bid because of like their conversations with her or their relationship with Kylan because of the legacy. But like I said, their legacy rule is gone. But however, it's very likely considering because she's the queen bee, right, of Zeta, right, and Rush Talk. She was literally the one who got me into Rush Talk for Bama because I saw her videos and I loved it. But I'm saying, like, her sister is the exact opposite, and we've seen them, like, fight on social media and talk, and it definitely seems like they're polar opposites, at least from what I've seen. I think they can agree, too, in some capacities, but I am very interested to see if Zeta even gives her a bid. Maybe they won't, which could cause more issues between, like, the Darnells and Zeta. You know what I mean? Maybe they will. I'm just saying, from that first video that she posted, I was kind of confused because I'm like, it doesn't seem like she was taking it that seriously. But maybe, I know that she's kind of a more funny person, but she definitely has to be extra careful. She can still be funny, but she should still be like, hey, you guys, I am very excited. You know what I mean? Like, she should say, make it clear that she's excited to rush. You know what I mean? And everything on your social media says a lot about you too. And yeah, it's definitely, like, even Kylan was saying that nowadays she probably wouldn't even get a bid for a lot of these sororities because she's got too many followers. And same thing with Izzy. Izzy's got the exact same thing, and she's even got a different reputation than her sister. But Kylan is more PG most of the time than Izzy is. So that is the problem I think that they're going to run into. But I think they could make it work. But maybe it is just a PR thing, and it'll all work out. But I feel bad because I just don't know what's going to happen. And I just feel for the sorority too, because, and all of the girls involved too, like Kylan, Izzy, her family, because I just want everyone to be happy. But sometimes it's not a right fit. And sometimes you don't have to be in the same sorority as your sister or whoever, right? But I'm just saying it could also work. But also maybe she even get in, she doesn't even want to be in it anymore. That's possible too, right? But I'm just trying to think because as someone who was in a sorority before TikTok was a thing, I'm not even kidding you. 2016, I was done with school, and that's the year that they started TikTok, so I couldn't even tell you anything about that. And I'm glad I did not have TikTok because I probably would have done some stuff too. So, because we all, like, it sounds fun, you know? And I would have abused it in college, you guys. But what do you guys think? And also, I definitely think that she will get a bit as long as if she is careful. Like I was saying, she's definitely like someone who's like, she just needs to be extra careful how she's portraying herself these next few days. I'm not as worried as her in person, but like the social media posts especially, she needs to be extra careful this week. Because that first post, I was like, oh, is she taking this seriously? Like, I know that I'm not trying to like be that person, but like that was the first thing I thought when I saw that video, even though I think she was just trying to be herself. But I don't even know if she was, to be honest with you. But I'm just saying, someone who's just trying to critique the situation. What did you think of that first video? Do you think she'll get a bid from Zeta? Oh my gosh, I hope she does, but like, I don't know. That could also be a huge thing. But this is Kylan's last year, and she's the queen of this anyway, so maybe she's even aware that it might not work, or maybe she's not. I don't know.